Hello guys, bersama saya lagi dalam Alright Noper Channel. Satu sesi soal jawab ya ketika lawatan Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim di Rusia sebentar tadi. Dan soalan yang dikemukakan diajukan kepada Perdana Menteri kita Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim adalah satu soalan yang panas. Ya, menjawab namun ya Datuk Seri menjawab dengan mantap, dengan penuh penegasan. Jadi sahabat semua, apakah bentuk soalan itu? Ya, mari kita tonton bersama ketika sesi soal jawab ini dan juga jawapan ya daripada Perdana Menteri kita Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. Jadi tanpa membuang masa, ayo kita tonton video ini.
Спасибо. Ну, как и обещала, переходим к другой теме. Господин Ибрагим, давайте не обойдем стороной ближневосточный конфликт. Вот каким вы видите выход из ситуации?
As I've consistently said, we cannot use the narrative of many in the media or Western capitals that it all began with the 7th of October, Hamas attack. It all began with colonization. It all began with the Nakba in 1948. It all began because of the reluctance to accept the resolutions of the United Nations consistently, and of continued harassment of settlers in the West Bank. So I think we need to put the narrative right. Do we want a solution? Yes. And I commend, of course, the Russian position, the Chinese position. Foreign Minister Wang Yi have taken initiative, and many countries. And I think the majority of countries have taken a position, including recognition of the state of Palestine. But why is it not happening? Because of the intransigence of Israel, and unfortunately with the total support of the United States. In fact, giving him a standing ovation when atrocities are being committed. That's why I ask my colleagues, even in the West, where's the humanity? Why do you talk about justice? Why do you go and preach to us about human rights and democracy? Why is there contradiction when it comes to treatment of issues happening in the world? And again, yeah, what we need in this world now is a consistent, coherent message. Yes, we respect freedom. Yes, we respect the dignity of man, of woman. Yes, we must oppose all forms of colonization. Because what is the issue in Palestine now, not only in Gaza, but all Palestine, is the issue of dispossession. You conquer, you take people's land, you dispossess, you kill them, you detain them. You take over their houses. You treat them as a open air prison, and this is known. That is why I know we come from a small country. We know our limits. That's why we thank our dear friends here for their support. But it is creating so much a problem. Not only the Muslim world, but those who believe in freedom and justice. It is creating problems for us. Because people are saying, why are you not doing anything more when people are being killed daily? And that is my point. So I just hope and pray that there is finally sanity would prevail to those who have influence in the world, because they are finally accountable. No country, no person can continue to do this gross injustice and tolerate the atrocities and think they are safe. I don't believe that can ever be accepted. We want justice to all mankind. And of course, we cannot deny justice because of their different color or different religion or different creed. Justice means justice for humanity. And it's time that Palestine and Palestinians are treated as human beings, not as slaves or second-class people. Thank you.
Спасибо. Владимир Владимирович, продолжая тему ближневосточного конфликта. Москва не единожды доводила свою позицию до обеих его сторон. Нас слышат обе стороны палестинского конфликта, израило-палестинского конфликта?
Я могу присоединиться ко многому из того, что было сказано нашим гостям. Позиция России, она не носит конъюнктурного характера. Она всегда была основана на решениях, которые состоялись раньше и которые, на мой взгляд, и должны лежать в основе урегулирования. Это прежде всего создание двух независимых государств. Кстати говоря, такую позицию разделяют очень многие люди в мире, в том числе, как ни странно, и в Соединенных Штатах многие разделяют эту позицию. Вот. Но, к сожалению, этот вопрос не был решен, и именно он лежит в основе и сегодняшнего обострения ситуации, и сегодняшнего противостояния. Мы со своей стороны, да, в том числе сегодняшняя проблема связана с попытками США монополизировать урегулирование. Господин Аббасом, он был в Москве, чтобы внести.
Господин Ибрагим, в вступительном слове вы отмечали и напоминали, что в следующем году Малайзия председатель в АСЕАН. Какие главные будут приоритеты в работе и как будет выстраиваться взаимодействие, объединение с Россией?
Because that region, sub-region, is the most peaceful in the world right now and economically most vibrant. The secret is, of course, is centrality is independent foreign policy position. We refuse to be dictated by any powers, and we maintain excellent relations with our neighbors. With Thailand, we are having special economic zone to promote and ensure there is more economic activity in the poorer sectors in north of Malaya and South Thailand. With Singapore, we have a special economic zone in Johor, which would encourage more business and investments. And with Indonesia, we have excellent relations. I was just in Brunei. And even on issues that is considered to be quite contentious, our decision is to continue with bilateral mechanisms, multilateral mechanisms. The only issue that we have to confront is Myanmar. It's not spreading in terms of its military activities, but it's causing some problems because, for example, Malaysia has to contend with 200,000 refugees from Myanmar, and I thought my position as ASEAN chair is, of course, to try and resolve. We don't want to dictate. You see, the problem, the failure sometimes in dealing with Myanmar, it's the military junta. You want to ensure democratic transition. I think what is important for Myanmar is peace. Get all the parties to speak and talk to each other and maintain peace. Then they decide for themselves what form of government they want to have, and do not dictate. And our problem with Myanmar in the past is to have to try and dictate to them what sort of government they should have. So in our 5-point consensus, we think that just respect these fundamental rules, we would move. But on a different note, different level, although we do have growing issues about particularly with the Philippines and China, our position is always to encourage the Philippines to continue to engage actively and try to resolve in the true spirit of ASEAN. And if we need to assist, we will continue to engage with our friends because we always feel that there is a way for the future. I think more so, taking that position because of centrality, we do not want this region to be, again, a contentious region for the superpowers. If we have a problem in the region, we resolve in the region. And we do not support any intrusion of other powers into the region. If we have problems, we try and resolve. And that's why I think my presence here in Vladivostok is to convey that message, that I think, contrary to some of the perceptions, we feel that our task is to ensure that we serve our people, that economically it has to be vibrant, and we want to show a new tradition of and diplomacy that engage with most countries, and Russia included. Some countries in the West may have a problem with Russia, they will deal with it. As far as we are concerned, we do not have a problem. We have some issues we want to discuss, we bring it up, you see. So I think we will start that tradition. So in ASEAN cohesion, we want to maintain that sort of relations. We may choose to disagree. I mean, I have very good relations with Premier Li Qiang. Excellent. It does not mean that we can agree on every issue, but we disagree as close friends. They talk about the issue of the more contentious issue with the South China Sea, and they keep on harping. You have a problem with China because of the border. We have a problem with every single country in ASEAN. I mean, those bordering Malaysia, because Malaysia is central. We have a slight border problem with Thailand, with Indonesia, with Singapore, with Brunei, with the Philippines. Is that a problem? No, it's not a problem. These are issues that we discuss. It does not in any way seem to be antagonistic. Why is it when it comes to China, you expect us to go and quarrel with them? I think we will continue to negotiate. Yes, we agree, and some issues we disagree. But in my experience now, I've taken over almost 2 years now as Prime Minister, I don't have a problem with China. So why must countries outside our turf insist that you have a problem? I don't. Now you have a problem, you deal with it. So I think that should be the ASEAN position, and to focus on the fundamentals. Yes, on economy. Yes, on technology. Yes, on the AI, energy, and tourism. And I think it will be a great example of a sub-region that is peaceful and economically vibrant. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Terbaik sahabat-sahabat semua. Oh, itu dia jawapan padu daripada Perdana Menteri kita. Ya, berkaitan dengan isu-isu panas, terutamanya sekali di Palestin, rakyat Gaza dan sebagainya, dan juga ya terkait dengan masalah-masalah ASEAN, begitu juga dengan penyertaan Malaysia ke BRICS. Jadi inilah sahabat semua, kita boleh nampak bagaimana integriti, bagaimana kepimpinan ya Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim itu ditonjolkan ya di dalam sesi soal jawab ini. Tahniah kita ucapkan kepada pemimpin nombor 1 negara kita. Jadi sampai sini saja. Sekiranya Anda mau berikan sebarang komen, pandangan, Anda boleh berikan di dalam ruangan komen. Tapi ingat, komen dengan cara berhemah. Jadi izinkan saya untuk mengundurkan diri, dan seperti biasa peribahasa mengatakan, tapapun kangkap, 2 tahun keinginan. Dalam bahasa Melayunya, tepuk dada, tanya selera. Sekian saja daripada Alright Nampak Channel. Saya kita berjumpa lagi. Bye-bye.